In 1972, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from a maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the A-Team.
Wow, this was an experience. The Ruger Mini Tactical. Does it have any place in modern day law enforcement? Nah, but I'll tell you what, it has a place in my childhood. And a lot of us Gen Xers that shoot probably watched the A-Team. And this is the first gun that Hannibal had used. As a matter of fact, all the A-Team members use it. It was the gun, I really think, that got me so addicted to collecting guns. And I've been wanting this gun for 40 years. And lo and behold, Ruger's making a run of these puppies. I'll tell you, it took a lot to get used to these sights. It's real difficult to pick up this front sight inside this peep aperture. If I were to keep this gun and use it, which I'm definitely going to keep the gun, but if I were going to use it or take it out to the range, it does have an application and a pick rail, a Picatinny rail that it comes with, and it also comes with scope rings. And you most certainly are going to want to put, you know, some type of aim point device, holographic device, or even a 1-to-4 power on here. This is pretty much an exact copy to the original. The stock is actually made by Samson. And I do want to throw a caveat out here. Samson got permission by Ruger to make stocks like in the 2000s. So there's a lot of these stainless steel models running around with a Samson stock like this, but it's not the real deal. The real deal has a bayonet lug, and I think the barrel configuration is a little different. And then Ruger decided, I guess through a lot of popular outcry through the gun world, if they could make this weapon again, so they did. It's nostalgic. I don't want to bash my childhood gun, but you know, the trigger is definitely a little sloppy. It's really hard to get the magazines in, rocking them in. If you saw when I was doing my drills there, I was having a real hard time locking these magazines up. You know, it is a rocker lock style similar to the AK-47. It's a lot different than the original. If you can take a look at the barrel, if you see how thick this barrel is, and then it thins out. The originals had a thin barrel the whole way through, and they weren't very accurate. You're maybe getting 3 or 4 MOA out of the box, where this would probably run a little tighter. So you're getting an upgrade from the original, but the quality and how thick the metal is. I mean, if you notice, like take a look at the trigger guard. You know, Ruger does not cheat you on heavy steel, or they don't replace parts that should be metal with plastic. And you know, when I take a look at the you know, all of the parts in the manufacturing, you know, Ruger did a really good job you know, putting this gun together. You can tell that the receivers are forging, you know, which is fine. You know, I mean, it's not a casting, it's a forging, you know, so the quality's there, but you can tell that it was forged, you know, and then machined, you know, machined out, you know, in order to meet the specific tolerances. But I love this little gun. If I told you that I didn't fantasize about owning this gun when I was 14 years old, I'd be a liar. You know, it is collapsible. You know, like the stock works, you know, just by depressing this small hinge here. And then what you need to do is you've got to bring it over, and you have to depress this, and then this locks. And then there's a little stud right on the stock, and this puppy slides right in there, and that's how she locks in this collapsible configuration. In order to get it out, you have to manipulate this lever here, open it up, and bam, she slides right into place. It's pretty solid. It's just not designed for the times. But I'll tell you what, it is definitely going to stay in my collection. And if you grew up watching the A-Team and you're a gun collector, I would strongly recommend to go out and put one of these in your collections. But like I said, the standard iron sights, and look, it could be me getting old, it could be me being used to all of the modern day holographic sights and aim-point sights, but I had a real difficult time, you know, lining the front sight up in this rear peep aperture. This is pretty much all you get. So, you know, if you're going to use this gun for hunting or home defense or something of that nature, I would recommend putting the pick rail on. It is a little flimsy. I'm not saying that that it won't work, but there are aftermarket pick rails that attach to this part of the receiver and up here as well, and they're real beefy and they're a little higher. So if you're going to put a scope on that has, you know, your eyepiece aperture, you know, that's a lot larger than what the lower pick rail could handle, you know, that's the way that I would go. I would do that accessory purchase instead of using the one that that Ruger provides. But all in all, I was really kind of excited to obtain one of these, to get out, to try to shoot it, try to run it through some you know, some modern day combat drills. But I think it would take some getting used to. Getting those magazines in was a real trial and tribulation for me. But outside of that, you're getting nice quality wood, real heavy metal. Like I said, the handle is made from a more durable plastic. The original was a Bakelite, and it wasn't as durable. So you're getting some upgrades. And remember, Ruger did not make these stocks this time. It is under license from a company called Samson. As you can see, it'll be right inside of the foot of your stock. You know, outside of that, you know, you're getting your typical Mini 14 reliability. It's basically an M14 or M1 Garand variant that they put in the dryer and shrunk it down for the 5.56. It did have some short-lived military history in some smaller governments around the world. I think there was a couple government islands in the Caribbean that purchased these from Ruger. It was the full auto variant of this, and a lot of law enforcement had this throughout the late 80s and early 90s. And occasionally you'll see some former law enforcement Ruger Mini 14 Tacticals show up at your local gun store for sale. But all in all, you know, this gun retail probably going around $1,400. somewhere around that area, depending where you buy it in the country. And I think it's worth every penny. It's definitely it definitely satiated my 1980s nostalgia for the A-Team. And when I got one of these, I have to tell you, I love it when a plan comes together. Had to say it. Hannibal, you're my man. Take care, guys. Thanks for checking in. See you guys at the range.